Well, let's see. I haven't really thought about how I want to say this, but I want to talk again. This has come up. People suggested, was I drunk the other day? I was online playing a game, made a joke. You drunk? I hadn't had anything to drink. And I made a video recently where I said I'd had a little bit to drink. And this kind of thing comes up. um, and people wonder sometimes, my presentation, the I don't know what you want to call it, but just the style of the presentation and sort of the informality and improvisational aspect, as it comes up, people bring it up. I could wear a nice shirt or suit, always be in front of books or always be in front of nature, whatever. I could do that. I could look really good. Well, nature is a different one, but let's say I wore uh, something relatively, not a suit, but maybe something nice and had books behind me all the time. Some people do that. If I did something like that and turn it on, and my hair is going into long mode, right? Um, but I'm gonna get it cut. I can cut my hair regular. I could look a little bit straighter, not seem like I'm too hard, but of a fascist type straight person, but just like together. And I probably have a couple thousand more subscribers, but they'd be exactly the subscribers I don't want. People that are impressed or stay around because of this, some sort of image of authority or solidness that has nothing to do with the ideas. You know, that's the great thing about the homeless philosopher, the cynics, the Diogenes. You know, they give it to you and they're like, we're all crap when it comes to being authorities and heroes. So here's just an idea. You take that idea, if you show that idea to someone, you don't say, because here's the name I got it from. Ooh, this is from this source and I got it. No, you just say, here's the idea, and where'd you get that? You lie. I thought it up. You don't want to say, Diogenes, that guy in the street, the homeless philosopher guy. So I like people that can take the idea, that can find a diamond in the rough, and so on. So listen, I believe in being genuine and honest, and I'm faced with the problem. As a youth, I figured out the philosophy of the mask, and the surface, and the onion peel. It's like masks. People lie. We all hide behind masks. Oh, we're all bastards. Hide behind masks. And then you think about it, and you're like, well, what if you take your mask off? Then you have your face. Well, but that hides your skull, and you take that off, and your skull hides your brain, and you know, you take off the onion. Underneath is another skin. It's always a skin. If you really get all of the onion off, and then there was a core of onion, then you'd call that the skin because that would be the new surface. Okay, so in this broad sense of a skin, a surface, and any skin and surface can be looked at as a mask. So the real point is that the surface, while superficial, that doesn't mean you don't think about it. It does. You do want to think about it because that's going to be your mask or your interface to the world. Okay, so mask puts a negative tone on it, maybe, but it's also just an interface to the world. But I want to have a rough one. I don't want to convey that you should believe people that have ideas and look really like they have an idea. Yeah, you know. And I've been in situations. You know how sometimes you're on. We all want to. I've talked about this as a philosophy. We all want to know how to turn ourselves on. Where boom, we're just playing at the peak of our ability, and we're doing it. This. We want to be like that. Well, I've been on sometimes and meet people, and they'll start to build an adulation. Get the idea. Wow, this guy's really cool. He's always cool. Then, if they start believing what you say because you've said it, and they have this reputation in your mind, and then they start believing things you've said without even before they understand what you said, and then they think you've given them an idea that you don't even have, and you don't believe, and they are giving you credit and blaming you for its failures, and it's just a mess. I want you to have to hear an idea and go, "Ooh, interesting idea. I better think about it, though. I don't know." That's what I always want you to think. So I'll promote that in myself as well. And people are sometimes confused because, like, well, couldn't you get better if you just pump that? You got that good first impression with that guy. Don't show him your faults. You know. I mean, I have seen myself and been known to go out of my way to say something stupid or do something controversial in order to break someone from this trail of wow, you're the thing I'm looking for. I need to move the way you move. No, spread out. Okay. It's all about the, what is it? Mo Coward or Mo Howard? Spread out. It's the number one rule, philosophy of relativism. Now, as far as intoxication goes, um, I have an interesting view of intoxication. I could tell you my weakness of intoxication is I've only been smoking like 2.5, 3 years smoking. Okay? This is my weakest vice. I don't feel I have control to moderate. I mean, I know I do. I could take responsibility and all that, but uh, the point is, I don't feel I am moderating it to the degree that I want to. It's something I have to work on. Okay. And I'm obviously not immediately concerned about it because I can talk about it right now and smoke a fucking cigarette at the same time. Okay, this is a weird thing about cigarettes, right? But in general, with the psychoactive rather than just this physically, there's some psychological action of cigarettes, but I think the real weird thing is this physiological thing it does to you. But with the psychoactive thing, whether or not you can control the amount you take, there's a philosophical thing you can do. Like, if some people are mean drunks, I've known nice guys that were mean drunks. The first thing a mean drunk should do is stop drinking. Okay, don't fuck your life up. But the second thing they might do, if they want to be more of a guru about it, is, become a less mean drunk. Expand your personal philosophy, the one you have when you're sober. Expand it so that it applies when you're drunk, so that when you're in the condition of when you are drinking or tipsy, because that's the other thing, mean drunks, it's not just about getting shit-faced and turning mean. I mean, mean drunks, they have 3 drinks and they're a little bit smart-ass. Have 4 drinks and they're calling the aunts in the family names, and they have 6 drinks, they're fighting somebody. You know? So it goes all along the way. But yeah, expand your ideas so that it's strong enough. One, so that when you're intoxicated, not fully in touch of subtle mental maneuvers, that there's an unsubtle way you can remember. Oh yeah, I don't want to be an asshole. Okay, right. And then the other thing is to visualize that circumstance. When you're sober, you have to imagine the situation. If you were going to try something like this, you imagine that situation. You picture when you're drunk, do this, and you like this and you like this kind of movie. Oh, you always want Funyuns when think about the setting that it's going to be like, characterize it, and expand your concept of niceness. When you want Funyuns, it's not okay to call your girlfriend a bitch because she won't get you any, and you can't drive. Think that when you're sober. Don't think, well, of course I never think that. That's just obviously wrong. No, but you did that once. So imagine that situation and it can work. You can make yourself a different kind of person and expand your philosophy. And in this sense, it's not a bad thing. Not everybody. Some people should be sober. That's great. I love the green, clean, run. But you guys take a jog. You get your adrenalines and stuff too, and it's better. It's much more healthy and smart than drinking some whiskey. Okay. But fundamentally, there's a similarity of we are chemicals and we're eating them and we're releasing them, and we have to manage that. And one of the best things we can do is get a philosophy that will live with all of those situations that we experience. Philosophy is about life, and it ignores some of these things. It's ignoring part of life, and it's fake. So I believe in a philosophy that's to deal with questions of intoxication, so, the philosophy of intoxication. I also believe that for those that want to try to partake in whatever amount for them personally, including those that it's too much and it's going to harm them, they should philosophize while they do that. I want the results of that, and I don't want to do it myself. So anyway, so that's the main thing. I don't want to manipulate anybody, and so as a result, I have to try to make an honest mask, something that really represents me. And so part of that is an action. I do the videos all the time, partly because then that's easy for me. It's like, hey, when I want to do a video, I do it. But also because then you get to see a cross-section of me. I'm not going to tell you personal details, but you could see a cross-section. You know what I mean? You could see how the thinking goes together. And if I've drunk sometimes, you can see if I'm a mean drunk or not, or if my ideas change and suddenly I believe in God or something. Anyway, cheers.